It is 7:44. You're listening to Metro Morning on CBC Radio 1, 99.1 FM, and on the CBC Listen app. Well, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. The news has been pretty bleak leading up to the holidays, but we are going to take a moment here and tell you about something pretty awesome. When Kevin Chavge got rid of his notebook filled with drawings and poems, he didn't think he'd ever see it again. Yet, a couple of days later, it found its way onto a Toronto artist's social media pages. The artist, Catherine Boyd, found the notebook at a thrift store and saw it as a piece of art. Well, they're both here now with me, meeting for the first time. Good morning, Catherine and Kevin.
Good morning.
Meeting for the first time. What was that like for both of you?
It was surreal for sure.
For sure. Little trippy.
I bet. Now, Kevin, the notebook that you thought you threw in the trash, it did not go in the trash. What goes through your mind? What went through your mind when you saw it again for the first time?
I was very surprised. I was confused. I'm like, how did it get there? And I realized that when I had a donate pile and then a pile to get rid of stuff, I kind of rushed to get rid of it and forgot that I wanted to not donate the book. So I was very surprised, but glad that it found a new home.
What was the story of the book? Like, why did you want to throw it away? You wanted to hold on to it?
No, I wanted to get rid of it.
You wanted to get rid of it.
So I was clearing out stuff, and I saw the book. It was from a fill a notebook challenge. You get like a month to fill out this book. Yeah. And I saw it and I was like, I just don't really want this. And yeah, so I was going to get rid of it. Because I don't know, I wasn't maybe happy with it, I guess. And yeah, I don't know.
Catherine, tell me about the moment you ran into the notebook.
It was sitting there on a little string without a price at Value Village. And my son and I picked it up and we looked at it, and immediately I thought, oh my goodness, this is a moment of belonging and connection. Like, I felt so connected to the book as if it was another artist reaching out. Really? And I was really excited, and I thought, this is a piece of artwork I want to keep. And I purposely only read it as I was posting it. Like, okay. I wanted to share it with the world.
So I want to back up here then. What was it about the notebook that struck you? I mean, was it looking inside, or was it the cover itself? What caught you?
At first, I thought it was just a moleskin. Like, and I'm an artist, and I thought, okay, everybody needs a notebook.
Of course.
But then I noticed it was filled, and at first I thought, what in the world are they selling a filled notebook? But then when I looked at the content, there was definitely twists of melancholy throughout. There was moments of pause, and I really appreciated it as a whole story.
Did you feel you were learning about Kevin without having met him?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I felt like I was a connection. Yeah.
Was there a poem or a drawing that stood out to you right away as you looked into it?
For sure. There was a favorite. I've got some here if you're...
Okay. I would love to hear about some of your favorites here. And I'm getting this may be a little it may be a little uncomfortable for you, Kevin, to hear.
It's fine. I think at first I was kind of like, oh no, I do not want this to be out there. And that's why I want to give, like, most people of my friends haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So... But in the end, like, I do like my art, and I think I was embarrassed at first, but I think that's just me as an artist. Like, putting stuff out is hard.
Right.
So seeing people that enjoyed it, I was like, you know what, this is good.
Especially when you didn't go through the process of, okay, I'm going to release this to the public. You didn't get to go through that, but apparently it's great stuff. So let's hear some of what's in here, Catherine.
The time that passes by is splitting off in opposite directions. I'm not your only friend, just the one who lies to make you feel good again. Tell me something wrong so I can tell you what it means to be happy. You knew it all along, but humor me, if only for a second. I'm wasting all my mind.
How many years ago did you write this stuff?
I think, this notebook I made this around 8 years ago, but some of these things writings were things that had already made. So that one, I honestly don't even remember writing that one, so that one's probably older.
What's it like for you to hear your words like that, especially if you don't remember them? Do you hear them and think, wow, that's great?
I actually, hearing that one, I'm like, oh, that's not bad. And hearing it in someone else's voice it's weird, but I like it. And a lot of times when I do look through old things that I've written, like, I don't remember writing it, and it's almost like, makes it fresher, and I kind of like appreciate it more.
Sometimes you need a bit of distance from something, right? To start to appreciate it. And for you, Catherine, what were you thinking? Well, because Kevin reached out to you after you were posting some of this stuff, right?
Yeah, the minute that his post, I went, oh my goodness, he's going to tell me to take it down. And of course, I totally would have respected that.
Yeah.
But then when he said, this is the best thing to wake up to, or something along those lines, I was like thrilled and my heart was full.
What did you talk about after that? Like, what was that conversation like, Kevin?
There wasn't too much, like, through social. We didn't say a lot. Like I said, like, oh, you know, this is me, and I don't even remember exactly what we said, but it was only when Metro Morning, when we were told we would be on this, that like we had like a quick chat.
Yeah.
And that was definitely weird. It made it feel more real, and everything kind of happened really quick. So it was just kind of like all this stuff kind of happening at once. That was just. It still didn't feel real. Like there's something still like kind of strange about it. I'm like, oh wow, like this is actually a thing.
I find it interesting when you need to wait for emotions to settle in like that, and that process. I wonder, as things are starting to drop and find their place emotionally with you, do you see yourself differently as a writer, as an artist? Has this changed the way you see yourself?
I think in some ways, yeah. Like I think that I want to try to do more of this. Like I have so many things that I've written, so many things that I've that I want to put up. I'm always kind of afraid of it, but I think this makes me like, okay, what people actually might like the stuff that I do. So I think this has helped me be like, oh, you know what, like put your stuff out there and just don't be afraid.
How about not people might like? People do like the stuff that you do. I mean, there are a lot of positive comments to Catherine's posts already.
Yeah, no, it's great. It feels good. I was also kind of like, oh no, like this is definitely like more like personal stuff that I didn't expect people to see. So it was kind of like, oh, this is like a side of me that not many people like are aware of, because I like dealing with like depression and stuff. So it was a bit hard. And even I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she's like, oh, like where do you come up with this stuff? And I was like, oh, this is just kind of how I was feeling. And I think she thought that I was just making these things up. So she's like, oh, so I think she's like kind of like took a step back. She's like, oh, okay, and like they know about stuff. Like I'm very open about that, but I was kind of. In some ways, I was like, I wish there was more like positive stuff in it, but then I probably wouldn't have been writing about it. So,
well, maybe the positive stuff is the reaction, and the impact it's having on people. And the positive stuff is how you were able to process and write those pieces, right? What's next for the two of you? I mean, you've connected now in this really amazing way.
I don't know. I'd love to challenge. I'd love to collaborate and do a notebook challenge, getting people to actually fill their notebooks and have like little meetups, and maybe people post different things.
I think that's cool. Yeah, even just the idea of like different people like meeting up after creating something, and then like sharing, like everybody like having like grabbing a random notebook from a box and just taking it home to like
you two are starting a notebook club here. That's what you're starting here. This is really cool to just like experience your connection now and talk about this notebook. Thanks to both of you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Catherine Boyd and Kevin Chavj met for the first time here in this building since Catherine found Kevin's notebook in a thrift store.